Hey y'all, my name is Dustin, and before we get started on this video, I do want to have like a little disclaimer. First of all, I have it a little scripted because it's a long one and I don't want to fuck it up. So if I'm ever looking down, it's just because I'm like checking the keynotes. But the disclaimer, okay, so if you do not believe what I believe, that is totally okay. Everyone is free to believe whatever the hell they want to believe. That's the glorious thing about life. Free will. You can be Christian, you can be Muslim, you can be atheist, you can be whatever you would like, and I can be what I would like. So it would be absolutely amazing if we could all respect one another's beliefs and keep this a loving, positive place, because that's like one of my main things in life is trying to keep things positive and friendly and kind. So if we could keep it that way, that would be lovely. If not, also, not everyone that is the religion I identify as, which I'm sure you can probably tell what it is already by the title, not everyone that is the religion I identify as believes the exact same thing as me. That's my favorite thing about my religion, is everyone is free to be on their own path and to believe what they choose to believe and all of that fun stuff. So let's get started, shall we? My beliefs personally are very eclectic. I would consider myself pagan, and I also practice witchcraft. That word is going to freak a lot of you out. Those of you that aren't pagan or Wiccan or practice witchcraft, or you're going to be really freaked out by the word witchcraft. I promise I'm not insane, and I promise it's not anything evil. That word has always had a really bad connotation to it. It's not witchcraft like it is in movies, I promise. For me, it's like the most simple way I can describe it for people that don't practice is that it's my way of prayer. It's just a physical and visual way of doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, for the most part, it's physical and visual. It's also spiritual and mental, but for the most part, it's pretty physical. I grew up Catholic, just to throw that out there so you all don't think I'm completely batshit, like those of you that are Catholic and are like, wow, no, it's not that. And I know where you're coming from because I grew up in that shit. There were a few main things that caused like my transition from Catholicism to first being not religious at all, and now like finally going back to it again and being paganism. I'm pagan. I just always had a hard time praying with my thoughts. Like when you're Catholic, you sit down at the pew and you do 3 Hail Marys, one, what is it, like Our Father and yada yada you, all this stuff. And I just always had a very hard time praying with just my thoughts because my head goes like a mile a minute. So it's just very hard for me to focus. So I wanted to find something that I could do that was physical, which leads into the witchcraft and all that stuff once we get there. But I also didn't like with Catholicism, like what didn't click with me was like the fact that I had to practice a specific way or believe in a specific deity. I wanted to just have the freedom to do it how I wanted to and to believe in what I wanted and all that fun stuff. So eventually I started looking towards other religions that would like allow me to believe in a deity that I wanted to believe in and practice the way I wanted to. And that's when I stumbled onto like witchcraft and Wicca and paganism. I just really wanted to practice something that was full of freedom. So that's why I like love the idea of witchcraft so much, because it allows anyone who practices to have their own beliefs and follow their own path. So I'm sure lots of y'all find it hard to believe, but there are witches who are Christian and who work with the saints and with their God. There are witches who believe in the Greek gods and work with those. There are witches who work with the Nordic gods, the Norse gods. And then there are witches that are completely secular and don't believe in any deity at all. That's what I love about the craft. You know, you get complete freedom to do and believe as you see fit. It's a very personal journey, and I like that. Another thing, like I was saying before, that was so hard with the Catholicism with me and like me together, it just didn't work because I've always been super visual, and like I was saying with the can't really pray with the thought thing, I liked being able to do something physical and visual. So that's like witchcraft. It was my way of making my prayer visual and physical. I wanted to be able to see what I was doing, and I wanted to be able to see change being made. Now, when it comes to deity, I personally don't believe in any, not in the physical sense that some people do. When I think of deity, I always think of them and pray to them and work with them in a very metaphorical sense. So deities to me are a personification of nature. So when I'm praying to that deity, I am essentially praying to nature through that personification. And I being pagan, worship nature. I believe in nature. I believe that all things have a spirit, have a soul. I even tried going vegetarian for a little while. Didn't work out. because your boy had a vitamin deficiency and I got really sick. It wasn't cute. So now I just try to eat meat as little as possible, but it's cute. It's cute. I also am a pacifist. I don't believe in violence. I hate violence, actually. I just don't get it. I just don't get the need to be violent. I also believe in reincarnation, and I most definitely believe in the equality of all things. That's a big, big part of my practice. Equality. I very much so believe in equality. I am gay, so, you know. And I'm very pantheistic with my beliefs. And for those of you that don't know what pantheism is, basically I believe that all of nature, every living thing is connected, and that we all depend on one another. So whatever like higher power, whatever deities exist, in my personal opinion, I believe that it's inside all of us. That higher power is inside all of us. It's inside everything. It's inside the trees outside, it's inside me, it's inside y'all, it's inside grass, the flowers, all kinds of shit, you know? It's inside all of us. That's what I believe. So now to go a bit further into paganism, just to give you an idea of what that is, because I'm sure some of you are confused, or at least wanting to learn about it if you're here for that reason. Some people are here because they think I'm crazy, and others are here because they're interested in the topic. But so whichever it is, paganism is a nature-based religion, and a pagan is someone that practices a nature-based religion. I know online it says a lot about like paganism. It's such a vague and broad term, which is one of the reasons I like it and identify as it, because I'm very vague and broad. Lots of people said it, or like if you look online, it says in lots of places that it's any religion that isn't Abrahamistic, and other like sources say it's just a nature-based religion. I think it's a good mix of both. Yeah. But the lovely thing about paganism is that it's like mostly an umbrella term. Like I said, it's very vague and broad. So tons of other religions and like sects, I can't, it sounds like I'm saying sex, but I'm saying sects, like bits and pieces, like, you know what I mean. Lots of different sects fall under the religion of paganism, and lots of different religions fall under the religion of paganism. One, for example, is Wicca, and now this is where I want to like emphasize the word religion, because people hear Wicca and they hear witchcraft and they think they're the same thing. They're not the same thing. That's like such a common misconception. It's insane. While paganism and Wicca are religions, witchcraft is a lifestyle or a practice. So like all Wiccans in theory are witches. They practice witchcraft. It's part of their religion. But for witches, because like I said earlier, it's a lifestyle or a practice and everyone's free to have their own beliefs, there are witches that aren't always Wiccan or pagan. Sometimes they're Christian, sometimes they're Muslim, sometimes they're atheist, etc., 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 all that fun stuff. I also really want to go into witchcraft, so we're going to do that right now too, because like this word, like I said earlier, there's just such a bad connotation with it, and I wanna make it make sense for people that think I'm crazy or think other people that practice are crazy, or you know, whatever. But witchcraft, to me personally, like this is my definition of it, it's the practice of physically, spiritually, and or mentally setting and manifesting an intention. So like I personally don't believe in supernatural magic, and magic in this case is spelled with a CK. I don't believe that like, you know, you can like conjure up a miniature storm in your hands or like send a person flying across the room with a flick of your wrist. I don't believe in that. No. No. I do, however, believe in the use of the five senses, sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch, and the five elements, which are water, earth, fire, air, and spirit, to do magic. And like I said earlier, it's not magic, it's not supernatural, it's not like you see it in movies. It's not that kind of shit. It's more, oh, how do I put this? I know, okay, I'm gonna read you a quote, because I forget who did this, or who wrote this, who said this, but it makes more sense to think of magic like this than you do when you think of movies. And he said, magic, CK, is the science and art of causing change to occur in conformity with will. So basically, to like dumb that down, willing change to happen using the five senses and five elements. You know? So like I said earlier, it's like a physical way of, for me, praying. So witches do take part in ritual, and we do cast spells. It's our way of setting that intention and manifesting it, willing it to happen. It's not like creepy shit though, you know? Like we're not throwing babies in cauldrons, and like I don't like summon demons to come after you in your sleep and shit like that. It's not like that. The rituals and spell work that I do are purely positive. Everything about my craft is purely positive. I don't personally like to put out negative energy into the world. There are some witches that do. I personally don't. I believe in I believe in karma, and I believe in the rule of three, the threefold law. I just got a text message. I'll read that in a sec. Oh my god, I got another one. But the threefold law basically states that whatever energy a person puts out into the world, whether it's positive or negative, that energy will come back to them 3 times. So I like to keep things positive as much as I can. I mean, obviously you can't be happy all the time and do good all the time, but I do try. I do try. And now I guess we'll get to the how I identify myself, like the words I would use to identify myself portion of the video. I would consider myself a solitary, eclectic, pagan witch. Solitary meaning alone, and eclectic meaning like I take bits and pieces from different sources. Like bits of my craft, it comes from all over. I don't purely study one way, or I don't study just one way of practicing. You know, I like to take and mix it all up and throw it in a pile and see what the hell happens. I do, when it comes to the solitary thing, I do have one friend that I work with sometimes, so when we're together we would consider ourselves a working couple. Neither of us are a part of any covens though. For those of you that don't know, a coven is a group of witches that get together on like Esbats and Sabbats to do ritual and spell work and teach one another and learn from one another. It's nice. I, as of right now, only participate in like Esbats, so those are, for those of you who don't know, full moons, new moons, that kind of stuff. The Sabbats are like pagan Wiccan holidays. There's I think 8 of them. I haven't really studied up on those that much yet. I want to in the future get more into that and start practicing holiday that way, but yeah, I don't right now. But you know, as I was saying, some people practice alone. That's completely okay. Other people practice in groups. Also completely okay. Both are completely valid. Awesome options. Do whatever you feel like works best for you. You can be a solitary witch like me and my friend, or you can be in a group in a coven and learn with and from others. Yeah, both are completely valid options. To end this video, I'm sure lots of you are here because you think I'm insane. Cool. Nice to meet you. How you doing? I'm not kooky, I promise. And the rest of you, I would assume, are here because you want to learn or maybe even take part in something like this yourself. So to answer the question that I'm sure some of you are thinking, how do I become pagan? I don't have an answer. I have no fucking idea how you become pagan. I don't think there's one set way of doing it. There are so many different ways. I can tell you how it happened for me personally. For me, it just started with tarot. And tarot, for those of you that don't know, are those deck of cards that people use for divination. They also have a very bad connotation attached to them. I don't get why either, because they're not evil. It's just the deck of cards giving you some advice. I started with tarot. Oh, when was it? In 2015. And then when I moved to a different city, I met my friend that I work with now all the time. And it was like falling down a rabbit hole. I used to read her tarot, and then we started researching witchcraft. And then that led me to just recently, really. I haven't considered myself pagan for that long. I have practiced witchcraft for like has it been over a year now? Like over a year now. But I just recently decided upon labeling myself as pagan. But yeah, it was like a rabbit hole. It just snowballed. I started with the tarot, and it just led me in like from one thing to the next, and here I am. So you can start literally anywhere. You can start by looking up the correspondences of the days of the week. You can, let's say you're really interested in plants, you can start with herbology and start looking up different herbs and their correspondences and how to care for them. You could look at crystals. Lots of people love crystals. I have some sitting on my altar right next to me. Or you could do what I did and start with tarot or other forms of divination like rune stones or the pendulum. There's so many different ways, and I promise you'll fall down the same rabbit hole that I did if you let yourself. And who knows where you'll end up. But yeah, hopefully that answered any questions y'all might have about me. This is just a big part of who I am, and I really wanted to document it in some way and share. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. I will definitely talk to you guys soon. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with this channel, but something. I'm gonna wing it. I'll talk to y'all soon though, okay? Okay. Bye.